Hello and welcome to another progress report for the Foundation. This week I've been doing a lot of work on the AI, getting the framework finished, getting a lot of actions made up, getting a lot of things tested, trying to tweak some behavior as well. The good news is it's all coming along really well and really smoothly now that all of the framework issues have been taken care of. Now it's basically just populating the actions and testing them. There's still quite a few actions to go, and the AI is still omniscient, meaning that they can see everything. Just like I can see all their bases right now on the map, they can see anything that happens as well. I haven't implemented their, vision capabilities yet, but I will probably be digging into that next week. But there's a couple visual actions that I've gotten done this week that I wanted to show you. Alright, first of all is base construction. So right here, you should be able to see, probably bad angle, it'll look a lot better when I finally start texturing some of these. I'm just a terrible artist, so I just kind of leave them untextured right now. Not a very good excuse, but when I get them textured, it'll look a little bit better. Also, this will eventually be animated. I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to animate it. And I thought, especially since maybe it looks ugly and you guys would rather have a different icon, then I might as well not bother going to the work of animating it if I just have to throw it out and do it over again. So there's a base that's under construction, and all of the global AIs right now can build bases. The territorial AIs will be able to next week. I just haven't made the small little adaptation to the base building code that allows them to only build bases within their region of influence. So I've got to do that, but for now, global groups of interest are building bases, and that's how it looks like under construction, because the AI still has time restrictions, like the player. So when they do their actions, it takes a certain amount of time to complete. And so if the player, like right now, I can see that they're building a base right here. If you have good enough intelligence that you can find out that the AI is building a base, you can send a task force over there to intercept the construction crews while they're in progress and destroy the base before it even gets established, which can be a very valid strategy. So along with base building, I also worked on the group of interest's ability to detect events that were occurring and decide whether or not they want to intercept, also based on how many task forces they actually have available. Currently, groups of interest have one task force, and one task force only. I'll be catching them up and getting the actions so that they can build more depending on the situation, especially if they're not able to intercept an event that they like. Then inside of their preference table, they'll mark, hey, that was annoying that I wasn't able to respond to that event I wanted to respond to, so let's make it a higher priority to build a new task force so that we can respond to new events. And as far as those preferences for events go, groups of interest will analyze the tag data of a given event, and they will look to see if it's some of the tags that they're interested in. Now, some groups, like the Global Occult Coalition, they're interested in basically everything anomalous. So they might have a higher weight on some tags, but for the most part, as long as they can see it and it's an anomalous event, they're going to be interested in going out and intercepting it and being involved. Same goes with groups like Chaos Insurgency and even to an extent the Serpent's Hand. They'll be trying to get themselves involved in every action that occurs, so they will be common enemies that you have to face, while others will only intercept events that match their tags that they're interested in. Say, for example, Are We Cool Yet? Is really only interested in things of an artistic nature. So it'll be looking at tags that relate to art, music, things like that, and they're only going to try and intercept and recover items and events of that type. So let's show some of this stuff in action here, just for the heck of it. So first of all, I want to show you that down here, this base that we looked at before, finished construction, and now it has this ugly base icon that I'm still working on getting replaced. Also, if we look around here, we just had an anomaly pop up, and you will see that over here a group of interest noticed that that anomaly occurred, and it is sent an intercept. So if you are able to see the group of interest's activities, if you have a high enough intelligence level or infiltration level on that group, then you will be able to see this icon and see its time and intercept, and be able to plan out how you want to take care of this. Eventually, I plan to have it so that your bases could have aircraft stationed that can go and try and intercept these transports and blow them out of the air. Or you might just try to simply race them to the task. Go to the place and send your own intercept. And if we speed things up here, you'll see we'll have a race over there. Now they won that time. However, there will be a brief period of time that the group of interest has to recover and gather the supplies that are on site. And so you might be able to arrive while they're in the middle of picking up and leaving, and thereby intercept them and attack their recovery force while they're in the process of recovering the anomalous item. Alright, so also this week I ended up having to work on my code for multiple different transport icons. I didn't expect that to happen. It was a bit of a setback for the code, and that's one of the reasons I made this second icon, is that I wanted to work on adapting to multiple icons, because I want to have a variety of different transport options that are available, each with their strengths and weaknesses, especially as you research higher and higher tech levels. So besides the AI work, there was a lot of back-end work working with graphics, working with optimizing my code to work with a variety of different graphical objects, and also expanding some of the previous code to not just be for players but also be for groups of interest. A lot of these things were hard-coded, and now they're more open and reusable, which will be good for the future of the game. Next week, like I said, I've got to do a lot more polish on the existing actions, transfer some of them over to the territorial groups of interest, and lastly, I've got to work on the site aspect of the groups of interest. I've got to make them have to detect these events the same as the player does, so that they have to invest their own agents and supplies all over the world in order to detect things that have occurred. So those are my plans for next week. I hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing the progress that's being made on the AI. Please leave any feedback and comments that you have, and I will talk to you again next week. Thank you for watching.